Thanks. So my name's Mark Buttegieg. I'm also, like Angela, running as an upper house candidate on the Labor Party ticket. And I think we have to be a little bit pragmatic about these things and realise that whilst there may be minor parties who may hold the balance of power in the upper house, it is either the Labor Party or the Liberal Party who will form government, and they're the ones going to have the biggest influence on your businesses. So it's critical to understand what we stand for as a party. And I want to start by, I won't go over some of the policy detail that my colleagues have so articulately put, because I'd just be going over the same thing. What I want to do is pull it back and give you a bit of big picture stuff and dispel a few myths. There's a common misconception that the Labor Party is not pro-business. Absolutely rubbish. And I want to tell you a bit about my background and the sort of people that we're electing to Parliament, hopefully on the 23rd. I'm a trade union official. I'm an official for the Electrical Trades Union, and I'm very proud of that because I see the work that unions do every day in ensuring that there's a balance between big business, who have monopoly control over this economy, and the average person who has a lot of similarities to people in small business. But not only am I a trade union official, my wife runs a business, a childcare centre. Two actually, one down here in Sylvania Waters and the other one at Alexandria. My brother-in-law owns a plumbing business in the Shire for about the last 20 years. I hear firsthand the sort of trials and tribulations that small business come up against. Basic things, practical things like input cost to business, things like electricity prices, unreliable supply, the lack of ability to get trained people because the vocational system in this state has been absolutely trashed. Now, what we've got to do as a government is get a balance, right? And that balance requires acknowledging the fact that we're all in this together. Trade unions, small business, the average working people, to try and get an equitable share of income. Because I tell you who's getting it at the moment, it's disproportionately the people who own and have monopoly over things like banks, electricity companies. They privatised your electricity network. Let's not forget this, okay? We had a good, reliable electricity supply that provided low-cost, cheap electricity, and what did they do? They sold it to private enterprise, and prices have gone through the roof. As Mary Ann outlined earlier, the Labor Party's going to start to fix that by re-regulating the retail market. I don't hear anything from the other side of that stuff. Prices have gone up by about 20%. Do you know why? Because the retailers are dominated by three: AGL, Energy Australia, and I'm just trying to think of the third one now, Origin. And what they do is they cartelise that market and gouge because there's no cap. There used to be a cap on it, and our colleagues from the Liberal Party lifted that cap. So all they do is they get together and charge exorbitant. That's why you're paying high electricity prices. Now, if I had my way, we'd buy that electricity network back because it only becomes accountable to the people when it's in people's hands. TAFE. My brother-in-law Craig tells me that he's a small business operator. He said, I'm going to vote Labor. This was last time. He usually supports me when I'm the candidate, but when he's not, he usually votes Liberal, right? He said, I'm going to support Labor this time. I said, why is that, Craig? He said, because I can't get a decent apprentice out of TAFE. They have gutted that institution, right? It used to provide high-quality, educated students coming out so that small businesses and tradespeople could run their business and didn't have to worry about the training. It was pointed out before. We're going to refund TAFE, and we're also going to make sure that private providers have to come up to a standard that TAFE has to meet as well. Look, long and short of it is this: we need to have a balanced economy where everyone's rewarded justly. You pay your staff well, people become productive, they're happy, your businesses thrive. That's what we're all about. That's what I want to try and achieve if I'm elected. Thanks.